Oh, alright. What's up, all my icy friends? I am the Dragon God of Gaming, Editor-D.Dragon, and welcome to another episode of the WWE Weekly Round Up, where I run down the whole list of things for Raw, SmackDown, and NXT to bring you what is good, what is bad, what could be possibly better, and nothing about Shane McMahon. This week I'm going to be trying to do something a little different. I'm going to be doing these in segments, so it makes it easier on me, so I won't have to do everything in one night and, stress out my voice. So, let's begin, shall we? Okay. Monday Night Raw. Starting tonight is the biggest banger of them all. The Falls Count Anywhere match between Braun Strowman and the almighty Bobby Lashley. Now, obviously coming in, this match was going to be more against more power than anything else. You gotta think, Braun Strowman is a human freaking truck, and Bobby Lashley is akin to a speedboat. Big and fast. So, most of the match was basically Bobby Lashley. I'm always focused dead center on just Bobby Lashley. Because I'm like, most of the night was focused on this. Because obviously, this was going to be the big blow off from all the crap that's been happening over the weeks. So, holy crap. Just, good lord. What? If you watch anything, watch this match, the Falls Count Anywhere match. This match was absolutely beautiful from the start to finish. A lot of this was Lashley controlling a good part of it. Like, a lot of us did not really think that this was going to happen. But Lashley did most of the, most of the guard work. Strowman tried to get everything going, running into the steel post from Lashley, throwing him into it, and spearing Braun Strowman straight through the timekeeper's area. All the things that you would, process, that would be in a really good Falls Count Anywhere match. But there was no finish. And this is the reason why. And this is how WWE should be doing these no contests. Lashley just, suplexed Braun Strowman onto the rampway. And Lashley was going to set up for, that spear that he usually does. He was taunting next to, like, the back, the LED board in the back underneath the Titantron. Braun Strowman got up, ran headlong, speared him straight through, just explosions, all the electricity going off. It was hell. Obviously, when the camera went up, Bobby Lashley is twitching, Braun Strowman is not moving, they're not going anywhere. These men were in absolute agony. Holy crap. It's just, this was the match of the night. Hands down, it was beautiful. Go check it out if you guys have not. But yeah, that was the first match. Next up, the New Day versus the Viking Raiders. Obviously, it was your typical standard affair, but they didn't need to do a 2 no contest. Obviously the Viking Raiders, they had a hole throughout the entire match. Mostly they were working on Big E, working him over or just onslaughting him with their offense. One belly to belly got Big E away from it, everything, and caused a separation, and he got a hot tag. But then Samoa Joe came out of nowhere, pulled Xavier Woods down, and put him to sleep with the Coquina Clutch. Wow. But that set up another match right afterwards. But imagine being put to sleep by Samoa Joe. Those are big, meaty arms. But yeah, it wasn't really good. It was just most of the match was that. But that led into a 6-man tag team match. Because Kofi Kingston did make the save, and everyone had a small little stare down. But when you have 3 big men versus 1 big man, 1 skinny man, sorry Kofi, and 1 man who's, there, sorry Xavier, things don't go the best way. Most of the match that started between the New Day and Samoa Joe versus, well, not the New Day, the New Day versus Samoa Joe and the Viking Raiders, sorry. Samoa Joe and the Viking Raiders, they just destroyed Xavier Woods throughout the entire match, beating him down, making sure he got nowhere near the ring, his side of the ring. He eventually did get a tag for Kofi Kingston. And, obviously, Kofi Kingston got a little bit of a comeback. He is a WWE champion. He can't look all that weak. And, everything broke down. Ivar, I believe, which is, Hanson, just destroyed Woods on the floor. And, I think he tagged Big E as well. And then Samoa Joe got into, the ring and applied the coquina clutch and to Kofi Kingston to win. So basically that sets up for Extreme Rules, the WWE Championship match between Samoa Joe and Kofi Kingston, and just putting everything, basically say, oh, the champ is in danger, like they always do. But this was an absolutely really good match. I can't even front about this match. It was really good, but it was just more like your standard affair WWE. But it wasn't like the babyface comeback. You can't really have that with Samoa Joe. So, I would suggest watching this too. Okay. Here we go. No Way Jose versus Cesaro. Basically, No Way Jose returned to the ring, obviously dancing his way. He stopped to greet, I guess, Drake Maverick and his wife. And they did give her a name, finally. And I'm looking it up now. Renee Michelle is her name. And obviously, 24/7 champion R-Truth was hiding among the conga line, basically taunting Drake Maverick, and that was basically that whole thing for the night. Drake Maverick, tricked his wife into coming onto Raw. I don't even think it's his wife. Sorry, Drake. I know you must have a lovely wife, but I don't know if it's her. It would be crazy if he actually did get married to her. Sorry, I'm hungry. Okay. No Way Jose got into the ring, basically enduring the big beating from Cesaro. Obviously, it's No Way Jose versus, come on, Cesaro. No Way Jose hasn't won since he got here from NXT. Dude, I'm sorry that you got saddled with this crap. Really, I am. Afterwards, at ringside, he hit the neutralizer onto No Way Jose. The match didn't even get started. It wasn't a bad segment, but now you're just misusing talent. No Way Jose did have a mean streak about him in NXT, and when he came up, basically he got beaten half to death between everyone. But that and actually brought in the tag team champions from NXT, the Street Profits, who basically said, we're making our debut. And I feared for the rest of the night, seeing what that entails. The Street Profits making their debut on Raw. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Guys, if I can give you guys one set of things that I could possibly say to you, go back to NXT and stay there. You do not want to be on Raw. Really, you don't. Alright. Next up. The Undertaker gives a word of warning to Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. Okay, as I said, I don't do anything that has to do with Shane McMahon because obviously it's too painful for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sum it up. Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre had to come out, called out the Undertaker, basically saying, you know, he has no business being out there. There was no business for him to be out there. Blah 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 blah. Undertaker came out, gave a warning to Shane McMahon. Basically, that's about it. It's a standard Undertaker promo. It's eerie, but basically you know that just means, hey, I'm gonna kill you in a few minutes. Next up, the next match, Natalya versus Lacey Evans. Obviously we can't have Lacey Evans looking bad. So basically the end of the match entailed that, you know, it's just, again, it's stupid. Baron Corbin tripped Natalya, and Evans hit her with the woman's right, basically to pin her. Again, why? I understand Natalya is a veteran, and she can be possibly made out to be like, you know, put over a young talent. But I mean, she doesn't need to lose every single time she's in the ring. I don't understand. This was basically a not good match. I wouldn't even go back and watch it. I didn't even want to watch it when it was on. Actually, I was into my phone while this match was on. That's how boring it was. Okay, next up. Now they're just doing this every single week now. Best 2 out of 3 falls match. The Miz versus Elias. What can I say? Basically speaking, Elias had The Miz basically the entire match, almost. Basically what happened was The Miz delivered the Skull Crushing Rally for the first fall and the first lead early. And then a little while later, I think a good moment later, Elias, you know, surprised The Miz with a drift away to even things out at 1 fall apiece. Now, the end of the match came when frustration led Elias to miss a knee strike, and he ran into the ring post, which then, when he was rolling on the ground, Miz applied the figure 4 leg lock and forced him to tap out. The Miz defeated Elias. I don't know why I have to say this, but this match wasn't really good. Like, The Miz can put on better matches than this, and we know he can. We've seen it. But it's just, I don't understand. This did not need to be this way, and it was kind of like a lackluster match. Alright. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Mike and Maria Kanellis. Basically, this whole match was Mike Kanellis, which he's supposed to be on 205 Live. Don't know why he's challenging the Universal Champion at all. I guess it's just another couple that people can fight amongst them. But Maria Kanellis hasn't been in the ring for a very long time. Again, and they're using her still wrong. I understand she's a manager, then why you keep on putting her into capacity, into like a wrestling capacity? But you'll see in a minute what happened. The match goes as expected. Basically, Seth Rollins had Mike Kanellis throughout the entire thing. It was barely even a match. And then when Becky Lynch tagged in, Maria dropped to the floor, grabbed the microphone, and began talking smack to her husband for no reason. just criticizing the crap out of him. And then when Becky Lynch went to pull her into the ring, Maria said she was pregnant. Why is she in a match then? WWE. Why? The match basically stopped completely. Maria basically just, tried to console Mike. But the funny thing is, what came to it was Lynch pulled the match back in and made Mike Kanellis tap out with the disarmer. After the match, Maria kept on telling Mike that she could not believe that he was the father of her children and that the only man in the match was Lynch. So she was still talking crap for no reason. It was actually a pretty funny segment. That's all I could do was laugh. I laughed the entire time. Next up was a moment of bliss with Nikki Cross, Carmella, and Nikki Cross, and then Carmella versus Alexa Bliss. Sorry, I had to look back through the matches because obviously it's still a 3-hour show. I'm not gonna remember everything, and I want to remember everything. Basically, Alexa Bliss has welcomed Nikki Cross. Obviously, she's been helping her out very much. Obviously, she's fresh off the heels of a victory over Bayley on SmackDown, which was last week, and earned Alexa Bliss a championship opportunity at Extreme Rules. Nikki Cross got all, emotional about everything and telling Alexa Bliss that she credits everything to her for being the first person to embrace her and accept her as, who she is, And then Carmella came out and started throwing, accusations at Alexa Bliss for using Nikki Cross to get her way, so she won't have to compete to get a championship title match. And Alexa Bliss accepted a match within a couple seconds. I don't know how much time it was. Carmella pinned Alexa Bliss, and basically that was it. It wasn't even bad, but it was so bad that it was good. That was how fast that was. It was so bad that it was good. I can't explain it. I thought it was funny. I'm just sitting here with the weirdest look on Alexa Bliss's face. But then right after, Nikki Cross came in, and I guess there was a match made between Nikki Cross and Carmella, and Nikki Cross just went straight after Carmella. Apparently that the match was made during a break. I don't know why they did that. Most of the match was controlled by Nikki Cross, basically taking, her crazy, approach to all the matches that she usually does. And then very soon afterwards, she delivered the Fisherman Neckbreaker, her version of the Drift Away, and to pin Carmella. So it was a very short, very unordered match. And to end off the night, it was a United States Championship match between Ricochet and AJ Styles. This match was actually pretty good. Raw had some pretty good matches tonight. AJ Styles appeared to have won the United States Championship early in the week. But he didn't really do it. They showed a replay, and Ricochet's foot was under the rope, so it was negated. So the title match had to continue. So, yeah, the whole thing was really weird. So, Ricochet actually pinned Styles after, a back and forth You know, it was actually a really good match, regardless. And then AJ Styles turned heel. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson appeared at ringside, basically mocking Ricochet. It looked like Styles was trying to take Ricochet's, place, taking Ricochet's side and in front of his friends. And then, it was very strange for a little bit. And then AJ Styles turned around and just straight punched straight in the face Ricochet down. A beating ensued. A Magic Killer from Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and a Styles Clash from the ropes. I guess the club is returned, ladies and gentlemen. But that was the end of the Monday Night Raw segment. I'm recording this Tuesday evening, so I'm waiting for SmackDown to come on right now. So I'll be back in a moment for SmackDown. So hope everyone enjoyed. Okay, we're back with SmackDown. So let's start off with the beginning, which was Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre on the Kevin Owens show. Again, with Shane McMahon, I'm gonna breeze over it a bit. Obviously, Shane McMahon talked about how much he was on a hot streak, and he was the hottest thing going at the moment, and he just kept on telling Kevin Owens to read his card. Kevin Owens kept on antagonizing. Drew McIntyre eventually got in his face. Then we had a interruption by Dolph Ziggler, and saying how he deserves to be in the WWE Championship match. Kevin Owens kept on telling him to get over it. His time has passed. It's over. And that management is the one who makes that decision. So what happened was Shane McMahon made a match for to be added to a championship match, which was the Tag Team Championship match between Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler versus Heavy Machinery, which will be later on tonight. So obviously this is just, again, crappy openings from WWE, starting off with a talking segment we don't need. The only thing entertaining about that segment was Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. So yeah, let's go on to our first match of the night for this one. Daniel Bryan versus Big E. The match is exactly as you expect it to be. There was a backstage segment between Dolph Ziggler. I've said Dolph Ziggler so much, it's not even funny. Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, and said how disappointed that they were that the title matches will now be triple threat, coming in Extreme Rules. But let's go into the actual match. Most of the match, not even most of the match, but a good amount of the match was Big E. Big E was using his power against the much smaller Daniel Bryan, but it wasn't until Daniel Bryan went for the leg and he kept on going at the leg that he got good amount of offense in. He kept on getting offense in. He kept it going. By the end, Eric Rowan, got him, got into the match, basically. Obviously, it's someone's outside. WWE cannot have someone outside without having them interfere in some sort of way. So what happened was, Daniel Bryan distracted the referee, pulled him into the corner. Rowan attacked Big E Langston, and then he attacked Xavier Woods afterwards. So Eric Rowan threw Big E Langston in. Daniel Bryan hit the running knee for the 1, 2, 3. Daniel Bryan defeated Big E Langston. I mean, it was pretty good. It obviously was a sign to come for what's going to happen in Extreme Rules. So it was going to be good regardless, but I still feel like the WWE can do better than just having, run-in victories or interfered victories for heels or faces. They can come up with more creative ways. And with Eric Bischoff running the show and Paul Heyman running Raw, I'm hoping that mindset is going to be going good. Monday night was absolutely pretty good. the language and all that is coming back. Things are coming back, you know. And later on in the night, I'm going to come up with another discussion about that as well, which is also going to tie into this whole maybe things are changing. And I'm hoping it's going to be changing for the best. So, let's hope so. Alright, next up, Nikki Cross hosts a Moment of Bliss featuring Bayley, which led into a match between Bayley and Nikki Cross. During the Moment of Bliss, Nikki Cross was saying asking Bayley how she could run Alexa Bliss's name through the mud so much, and saying that she's a liar. Bayley, you know, retorted like she is a liar, and she did say, "Why did you defeat me and Carmella, but Alexa Bliss did not? But Alexa Bliss is still fighting for my title at Extreme Rules. Why isn't it you?" And Nikki Cross came up with a retort that I can beat you. We can do this right now. They got into a ring. It became official. Bayley versus Nikki Cross. Now, Bayley brought it to Nikki Cross in this one. Obviously, Nikki Cross had her moments in the match, but obviously she pushed her really good. But at the end, it was a Bayley to belly to put Nikki Cross down on the floor. 1, 2, 3. Bayley defeated Nikki. It wasn't, you know, a bad match, but it can be a little. It could be a little twisted. It could have, you know, it could have something a little more in it. I mean, I don't need another interference. I was just talking about I would like a clean victory here and again, but it could have had a little more something that made this match a little more better. So, can't say it was a really, really good match. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. The Samoa Joe, Kofi Kingston face-to-face before Extreme Rules. Now, Kayla Braxton, which was in the ring, introduced both Kingston and Joe. Obviously, Samoa Joe don't want anyone else in the ring. He told Kayla to leave. Kayla Braxton, beautiful woman. Would like to see more of her, even though she is getting her screen time, and Charlie Caruso is getting her screen time. I like to see Kayla Braxton a little more. Am I biased? Probably. Sorry. Basically, Samoa Joe and Kofi Kingston just talked crap to each other for a good amount of time. It was actually pretty funny. It brought up a lot of good points. But Samoa Joe offered Kofi Kingston a solution, or like a hand gesture, saying that Kofi Kingston needs to shake his hand and acknowledge him as the future champion. And he promised, in return, he promised not to go after anyone that Kofi Kingston cares about. So, Xavier Woods, Big E, you know, all of them, he won't go after him. Kofi Kingston refused, gave a middle finger into Joe's face, and hit him with the Trouble in Paradise after, you know, Joe got pissed off and ran at him. This is what I'm saying. I'm hoping that things are changing a little bit more for the better. We can have something more, a little more edgier that brings a lot more to the product. That would be a lot more better than what we have now, where we need, you know, interferences consistently. All the entire show is basically all consist of someone interfering in the match and costing someone else a match. It's a tired formula. We need something more. And I think this is going to be bringing it more to it. A lot more, you know, edgier content. And I think it's going to be good for the brand. I mean, I understand that it's supposed to be kid-friendly, but something needs to be done to drive up the ratings. And if this is what's going to drive up the ratings, like what happened in the Attitude Era, then I think that's what the WWE needs to get a kick in the pants and have a fighting chance against something like AEW, which is going to be showing off more of an edgier product and more alternative product to what WWE has. So I think it's really good. Next up, we have Andrade Cien Almas versus Apollo Cruz. Apollo actually finally got his rematch, and he didn't want it to go by as bad as it did. He kept on Andrade the entire match, you know, catching him with glancing blows, making sure that he's always on his toes. He's using his power against Andrade, which is more of a technical wrestler than anything else. He's very hard hitting, but Andrade also is more of a high flyer / technical specialist. So using power against that and keeping him more off his game is gonna be what Apollo Cruz would need to do. But in the end, Zelina Vega caught Apollo Cruz with that, you know, jumping Hurricanrana into something like she does every single time Andrade is in a bad situation. Wait till he fights Aleister Black again. Even though she could do it twice as hard because they're dating. But then Apollo Cruz was sent back into the ring where he got hit with Hamlock DDT for the win. 1, 2, 3. Andrade beat Apollo Cruz. Now this match was actually pretty good. Obviously, it was very athletic based. Andrade doesn't get so much credit as he does than he's supposed to. I mean, yeah, most of his victory comes off the heel of something that has to do with Zelina Vega, but a lot of the matches, like, this is what I'm talking about. If you have someone like Andrade that can pull off something absolutely beautiful, it would make the punchline of everything that the WWE has, like interference for someone to win, it'll make it a little bit of a moot point, and that's a good thing. So let Andrade keep on doing what Andrade does. Next up, we got Mandy Rose versus Ember Moon. Obviously, Mandy Rose wanted to dominate the most of the match, and she did. Ember Moon obviously got pissed off from last week's segment. If you guys want to go check that out, there will be something on the screen at the end, at the last 10 seconds of this video. So yes, go check that out. I did go in depth on what happened between Mandy Rose and Ember Moon and Sonya Deville. But Mandy Rose obviously dominated most of the match, obviously keeping Ember Moon off her game for most of it, while Sonya Deville was at ringside, obviously because they're always there. But Ember Moon mounted a comeback. She kept it going in, catching glancing blows. But in the end, she knocked down Mandy Rose to climb up to the top rope to hit a very wicked eclipse from the top rope for win. 1, 2, 3. Ember Moon defeated Mandy Rose. The match was a typical, you know, women's match, between not, you know, a very mid-card type of match. Even though Ember Moon should not be in the mid-card, she should be where she's supposed to be. She can be a lot more better given the chance, and WWE has not given her that chance. So WWE, get on that. Give Ember Moon a little more of a mainstay. Come on now. But this match wasn't as good, but it was good filler for the time being, up until the main event: Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens versus Heavy Machinery in a number one, number 2 contender match to be added to the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match at Extreme Rules between the New Day and the Planet's Champions. I guess that's what their name is. Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. Now, most of the match was, you know, a heavy. They're very heavy. So obviously, Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens had a hard time pressing down Heavy Machinery. You know, a little bit toward the later in the match, obviously, Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler did incapacitate Tucker Knight, which is, I believe, the weaker of the two, but still very, very strong and athletic. But yeah, the whole thing did break down near the end, where Otis was in the ring off of a hot tag fighting against Kevin Owens. Dolph Ziggler ran in after he was put down by Otis Dozovich. He went for a super kick, missed, hit Kevin Owens, knocked him out. Otis Dozovich and Tucker Knight took him out of the ring, knocked him out the ring, more or less, which led up to the compactor. 1, 2, 3 by Otis Dozovich and pinned on Kevin Owens. 1, 2, 3 heavy machinery is now added to the tag team title match at Extreme Rules. This was your main event. It was actually really good. It was a really good match. Obviously, Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens are really good in the ring. Otis Dozovich and Tucker Knight may still lack in a couple areas, but they know what they're doing enough to carry out a match. And when people know what they're doing, it makes things a hell of a lot better for everyone involved. The match went beautifully, so I think this was what was needed. But ladies and gentlemen, this ended off the SmackDown segment. I'll be coming back in about a second to do NXT, which is going to be happening in a few. So I'm doing these in segments if you guys haven't figured it out yet. So, hope everyone enjoyed, and I will see you in a moment for NXT. Keep on watching. So, let's change over. Okay, here we go. The first match for NXT was Mia Yim versus Aliyah. Now, this is actually pretty good. This is what WWE has to learn from, that we do not need talking segments at the beginning of each and every show. Start off with a good, solid match, and then let the show progress from there. We do not need a talking segment at the beginning of each show. There's no need. There's nothing that's needed for that one. But this match was actually pretty good. For a good amount of the match, Aliyah was, in control. Obviously, they were going for some sort of, fighting spirit, fighting back type of angle, where Mia Yim had to fight back to conquer Aliyah, even though probably Mia Yim could probably kick the crap out of Aliyah, specifically for that reason. But after the mounted comeback, obviously it didn't take very long to hit the protect your neck, which was the if you guys ever seen Gail Kim's Eat Defeat, that's exactly what that is, but a little bit shorter and very fast and straight to the point. So after that, 1, 2, 3, Mia Yim pinned Aliyah, and then she turned aside to Vanessa Bourne, where she threw her directly into the steel steps on the side, and then walked away like nothing ever happened. Like it wasn't me. But I thought this was a really good match to start off with. Again, Raw and SmackDown can learn from this. You have a good, solid match. It doesn't need to be like your top talents. Give 2 of your brightest stars like the spotlight for now. Give them the spotlight to show off what they can do, and then progress forward with the show. It's gonna be a good opening. It's gonna make people feel good about what's to come during the show, and it's gonna make the flow of the show even more better. Even during some of the talking segments, we do not need talking segments at the beginning of each show. Damn it, WWE. Okay, second match, we had Kushida versus, I believe his name is Jeff Parker. He's part of an indie tag team. 3.0. Okay. But basically, this was your standard affair. It was basically a squash match to show off what Kushida can do, more of his technical style. Obviously, Jeff Parker got a couple shots in, glancing a couple, like a drop kick or two, a punch or two, but he couldn't really do much against the submission style of Kushida, who quickly, got himself into the game and locked in that vicious hoverboard lock and made Jeff tap out. So it was in very short order. It was a squash match, but at least it highlighted what Kushida can do. And obviously, going forward, Kushida is gonna be a very big mainstay. I'm just hoping that they don't screw him up like they did Shinsuke. Alright, next up, another round from the NXT Breakout Tournament. Now, I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little hoarse. I've been out most of the day, and I haven't been giving my throat much of a break. So, I apologize. So, just bear with me for now. I know, it's a drastic difference from where we left off with SmackDown. I'm sorry. But we have the NXT Breakout Tournament, another one, from round 1. We got Isaiah Swerve Scott, a.k.a. Shane Strickland, or those of you that watch, what's it called? Lucha Underground, otherwise known as Killshot, versus Cameron Grimes, a.k.a. Trevor Lee. This match was straight a back and forth style match. It's just basically what these two can absolutely do, given like a little bit of time and a little bit of patience to let them, make a good match. This is what it will look like. The match was beautiful from good start to finish. Trading multiple holds, showing off things that NXT superstars or WWE superstars haven't even thought of just yet. Shane Strickland showed off a lot of fancy footwork in the match, just showing off like new ways to kick people half to death. But it wasn't until the end where Trevor Lee went for Cameron Grimes. I don't know what to call them no more. It wasn't until he hit that reversed out crossbody, I believe it was called, where he just, reverses a crossbody from another person, landing on top of them, that it set him up for what is known as the jumping double stomp, the standing jumping double stomp, where he just jumps up and, boot stomps them to the ground, which was, for those of you that don't know or have ever watched TNA, is Trevor Lee's finisher. And I'm glad I can see it actually on WWE television. It's actually pretty cool. But Cameron Grimes pinned Shane Strickland after that entire back and forth. So I think it was really cool how they ended that match. And it just showed off how good these two are. And I cannot wait to see what the future has in store for these two guys. Alright, next up. Bianca Belair versus Priscilla Zuniga. Okay. Mostly if you guys have been watching my my rundowns of the weekly WWE television, you'll know that Mia Yim and Bianca Belair have been feuding most of the time. Mia Yim did say that she's going after Shayna Baszler, so that, I guess, that leaves Bianca Belair very open for another feud. But another indie star has made her debut on NXT. Priscilla Zuniga, otherwise known as Diamante from LAX, which was a little bit upsetting that they kind of did this to this girl. Diamante was the woman lead for the Latin American Exchange in NXT. Not NXT, TNA. So, if you guys don't know who she is, go look her up and you'll figure it out. But it was a really good match. Obviously, a very aggressive opening. Bianca Belair did push her face in, so obviously that pissed off Priscilla, which in turn shoved Bianca Belair's face back. And And Belair just went on a tear, just delivering just horrible, like, gruesome blows. From press slams with squats all the way to, catching Priscilla in midair and just powerbombing her half to death to the floor. It was just a one-sided assault, but you can also tell that, Priscilla did have some credibility to stay in there for most of it. So it wasn't until she hit the KOD, which was an Argentine backbreaker facebuster, for a 1-2-3, Bianca Belair defeated Priscilla Zuniga. So there was a lot of things that were happening tonight. Wow. But the match was really good. Like, if you guys want to watch, like, really good television, really good wrestling, NXT is where you go. I'm hoping, again, like I said earlier on in this video, WWE Raw and WWE SmackDown can fix itself. It should be able to fix itself. It's just a matter of when, not how. Because there's easy changes that WWE needs to make. So, let's hope that they learn from their lessons. Last up, the main event for the evening, Tyler Breeze versus Roderick Strong. What can I say about this? This is, as I said, like for the same Strickland Trevor Lee match earlier. They were trading blows back and forth. It just shows how good these two are in the ring. And mostly since Tyler Breeze came back to NXT, he's been showing that exactly he's been, underutilized. The man is really good regardless. He could put on a very good match, just given enough time. He was shown to be a comedy act on WWE television, and there was no need. The man was good already. But Roderick Strong really wanted to go after, like, the backbreaker, the back of Tyler Breeze, and a back and forth style match. Obviously, they traded a lot of blows against each other. Tyler Breeze at one point hit the supermodel kick on Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong on the outside used, that power of his, pulled Tyler Breeze into his arms, which he threw Tyler Breeze back first into the steel steps. And it wasn't until the end where the Undisputed Era got involved that distracted Tyler Breeze enough where Roderick Strong can hit the end of Heartache backbreaker for the 1, 2, 3. Roderick Strong defeated Tyler Breeze. But again, these matches all night were absolutely beautiful. I don't understand why WWE can't do this. I understand you have like 2 hours, 3 hours to fill, but you can have great matches in that span of time. We do not need all these type of matches. Highlight the big matches and, cover up with some filler. It's okay. But let some of these guys show off what they can do. It's very simple. We got 5 matches in the span of an hour, but in the span of 3 hours, WWE put on 11 segments, and only about 6 of them were matches. Like, WWE can do a lot more better than what they're currently doing. Anyway, I think I'm rambling on a little too long. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's WWE Roundup. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. What match has had you more excited going into Extreme Rules? Tell me which match you're most looking for and what title you're most looking to see defended or possibly being dropped. Let us know down in the comment section below. And I can't wait to hear from you guys. Personally, my favorite match, again, Cameron Grimes versus Shane Strickland. It was a beautiful match. I can't wait for the next NXT Breakout Tournament match. I can't wait to see what they can come up with. So, anyway, hope everyone enjoyed today. If you guys want to check out some more stuff from me, you guys can go onto the channel. I have 2 playlists dedicated to myself. I've also taken up the WWE Weekly Round Up from Tui, so you guys can go check those out if you guys have not. And that's all dedicated to me, so if you guys want to go check that out. Also, at the last 10 to 20 seconds of the video, you guys can see the last episode of the WWE Weekly Roundup that I've done, which I did talk about earlier in the video. So go check that out if you guys have not, to get caught up a little bit on what's going on and what's leading into this week. If you guys want to see what else is happening. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed today. But good gaming, happy hunting, and I'll see all you Dragonlings back inside the world of WWE. Hope you guys enjoyed today, and I'll see you guys next time for some more Gaming Dragon action.